with how hot it's been lately, my phone has been taking a hot second to let me know when I'm actually live. But hey, we're here. It's good. Nothing's broken yet. Knock on wood. Because I don't know about you guys, but holy balls. With all of the insane tech issues that I've been experiencing over the last few weeks, it's been nutballs. But back on track to why we're all actually here. If you are a returnee, welcome back. I have definitely missed you. And if you are a newbie, welcome. This is one of those cases where, you know, we do some readings, we talk about some insane stuff going on in the world, we do it all. But if you would like a personalized reading, and I'm doing a collective, do not be afraid to interrupt me. Please, by all means, I can always get back to the collective read. But if you would like a personal reading, the options are a 10-minute reading or a single card. 10 minutes are 15, single cards are 5. Those are payable through CashApp or Venmo to smcrigger. And then you just comment paid plus which way you used, and we go from there. But in case you need a refresher on the, or if I'm speaking too fast because my caffeine finally hit, bless the gods, they are both in the chat and in the description on the how-tos. Because, yeah, sorry, I know that when my caffeine hits, I talk fast, and I really cannot stop it until it decides to calm itself down. Or I drink some water and do a little bit of quick grounding with it. But anywho, fun things going on in my life before we get started. There are some new events listed on my Facebook page if any of you are in the Ohio region. Next week I'm going to be in Hocking Hills, which is a fabulous place, by the way, at Alien Fest, held by one of my dear friends, Amy. And I gotta tell you, every event that I go to that she's organizing is always fabulous. And every Tuesday, I'm planning on being in Coshocton from 1 to 6, offering readings there. So if you're near either one of those two places, hey, get your butt up and come hang out. It's a great time. But offerings for our readings for tonight, and just a quick heads up, again, if you're a returnee, you already know this, but if you're a newbie, I do plan on going for roughly half an hour or so, so about 6:30. But if we get busy, I am all too happy to hang out longer, regardless of how hot my apartment is. But offerings tonight are, of course, tarot. Definitely, you know, have to have those for a tarot and oracle live, right? And these are great for pretty much anything from spiritual guidance, life guidance, but please keep in mind that any future questions are all outcomes based on your current trajectory. Free will is totally a thing, and any decisions you make, hey, you know what? It's all about making sure that you're on your right path for you, no one else. I also, in case anyone is interested and has never had a reading before, these are great for newbies, or if you just kind of like to get an idea of how you're spending your energies and where you might need to tweak it a little bit. I do have my bamboo set. These are absolutely fabulous, like I said, for getting a map of how your life is right now and how you might need to tweak your energy to make it a more balanced and fulfilling life. And in case you have a more practical question, because let's face it, some of us, hi, how you doing, are grossly practical to the point that it's enough to drive somebody nuts. I do have my Lenormand deck. These are actually super excellent for if you're unsure on how to work with a situation within a business, a relationship, whatever it might be. And whoever threw the like, I do appreciate you. Thank you. And these are also have been really nifty recently with how accurate they've been for if you'd like a week ahead. I gotta tell you, I get a kick out of it, so I might be doing a collective for our week ahead for everyone. And last but not least, I typically use these at the end for our meditation card so that we know what to kind of really focus on to make sure that we're doing our best, not just for everyone else in our lives, because hey, we do love them, we do want to take care of them, but we also need to be our best for ourselves. I do have my Goddess Guidance deck for, in case you are just looking for a quick, how can I do better for myself, or if you need just a quick idea of what energy to use. Aubrey, I'm just more or less explaining what all we've got going on. And Paisley, this is, what? Because, yeah, if your name is, I'd really be having a nice long chat with my parents about that one. Trust me, I had a nice long chat with my parents about naming me for my very, very, very much alive grandmother. Super love the fact they gave her respect, but at the same time, pretty much anyone who jumps in, Aubrey. Because it'd be real awkward just sit and stare at a screen like this. Right? And Paisley, that little symbol is not coming through clearly, my dear. And Aubrey, you would not sound like my best PC term right now is jerk, but the title, description, and the pinned comment would probably help you out on what's going on. And I imagine there's also a replay option. Absolutely not. You're the one saying you don't know what's going on, and I'm just pointing out the ways to help you catch up. Because I can only explain it so well before it's like, well, you know, if you're not going to follow, you know, I can only help you out so far, dear. I was being nice by mentioning, you know, just explaining what all the offerings are today, and when you say you don't know what's going on, I point out all the places to look at to help you catch up. That is being nice. But as mentioned, while personalized readings are always available, and whoever sent the second like, thank you very much, highly appreciated. But collective reads while we see if anyone would like a personalized. And if you would like a one-on-one reading, but you're a little weird about public platforms, no judgment at all. I know that, you know, sometimes things are a little too delicate to be put on a public area. There is an option in my channel for a link to schedule a private one-on-one that I can either do via Facebook chat, Google Meet, or if you are in my area, we can also meet in person. I've met plenty of dyslexic people that can read. And if you're dyslexic, you are typing extremely well, by the way. And the dyslexic people I've met have learned how to work with their dyslexia instead of against it. Because so far, Aubrey, Mark, give me the zuck, huh, Mr. Walmart bag? If that's a comment about how I'm suggesting Facebook, sorry, but I have to go where most of you interesting little buggers at as far as social media, and I refuse the TikToks. Total personal reasons on that one, but here we are. Booger what? And I maintain, Aubrey, for being a dyslexic person, you are typing amazingly well. And if that's voice to text, please let us know what you're using. But as far as that collective read, where in the double hell did you get that called any of you a booger? Where are you? You probably heard me say bugger, but bugger and booger have very, very, very different sounds, my dear. So along with that dyslexia, you might want to also work on your hearing. And as far as this collective read, we're going to look at anyone who's been having issues finding some new opportunities in their lives. I maintain for using voice chat, that's picking you up very, very well. Usually when I see voice chats, it's definitely, one, not that clean in the spelling, and two, it's also usually better at the grammar. So if you're using voice chat, wow. Again, we would all love to know the program you're using. I'm not. I'm just pointing out the interesting differences between a lot of different things. And for a voice to text, it's amazing on how some of the grammar was wrong and how suddenly it's all caps. So absolutely no disrespect at all, just pointing things out. So I'm not sure on how that's disrespectful. Who's being rude? Pointing things out is suddenly rude now? No? Okay. Well, as I was saying about the whole collective, for those of you that have been feeling like you're blocked from new opportunities and making things change in a good way for you on a financial, materialistic type level, let's see what's going on and how we can't turn that around for you. If you're still talking, then with that 30-second window that I gave everyone, I feel like that's perfectly long enough to explain how pointing stuff out is rude in a very concise manner. And last I checked, this was a live tarot and oracle reading, not a bring all the attention to one person who claims dyslexia but is using amazing amounts of perfect spelling. A long talked. Okay, so I think you mean long talker. That is actually the first time that your chat thing has screwed you up a little bit. And I maintain for having dyslexia, you're doing pretty good. And just to prove that I can totally carry a conversation and do a collective reading at the same time, because that's what we're all here for. Not put all the attention on you, sweetie. I thought you were using a voice text thing. If you're taking a while to type, do not assume whether I have dyslexia or not. Rotator chip? Really? So that tells me you're probably one of those that needed the buddy bench? Because quite honestly, what you're doing is not aligning at all with what this live is supposed to be about, princess. I call everyone sweetie. Don't take it any level of to heart. Trust me, you'll know when I'm being affectionate. Sorry, it's one of those I don't do very often. Cordial, absolutely. Direct, I can't help myself. That is a personal default. You don't see enough of my previous readings, honey. You definitely should. But as far as those of you that are having troubles with getting those new financial opportunities to open up doors, or you feel like you're being blocked every which way you possibly can, that you're banging your head against a wall, you are your own worst enemy. I hate to be that douchebag, but with a reverse Queen of Wands, that is telling me that, unfortunately, you always needing that pat on the back, you constantly craving that compliment, that need for reassurance that you are doing a good job is what's making you fall on your face. Because you are afraid to make a step in a direction without knowing that you are okay to do so. You are okay to jump in the game. You are falling every damn time. Who said anything about being a lesbian, Aubrey? Wow, you really are clueless, aren't you, honey? That is okay. That is okay. Because, you know, everyone misreads people all the time. It is totally fine. You've really never seen a tarot card, have you? You adorable, uneducated, poor little thing. It is okay. Hang out for a while. You'll learn a few things. Now, the things that are kicking you in the tail, my dear friends, that are blocking yourselves from those new opportunities and needing that, yes, you are doing okay and you're doing the right thing, all right? Your main problem is you're afraid. Quite literally, you're afraid of failure, and that's okay. I understand fear of failure, and Aubrey, you really do just need to, for a minute, it's not all about you. We're looking at the people that actually are coming here for help. But back to you guys. Your fear of failure has unfortunately gotten you to a point that it's crippling. And once you recognize that your fear of failure is what's causing you to trip, that's where things are going to start changing, because the things that you need to start out with are your self-care. And I fully understand that self-care is a devil to squeeze in, because we're looking at jobs, we're looking at taking care of the needs of our families and our friends, we're taking a look at taking care of our partners, or pretty much everyone in our lives that makes us think that we need to be there every step of the way in order to get that reassurance that we're doing the right things. And the other thing that you need to work on is a reverse Knight of Wands. This is telling me that you don't celebrate your wins when you make them. You wait for someone else to celebrate them for you. And the thing is you're constantly waiting for someone else to say good job, or hey, that is a great thing that happened to you, awesome. You are going to spend the entire time afraid of that failure, and more importantly, stuck with this mindset. So my darlings, those of you that are trying to open up new possibilities for yourselves, feeling like you're blocked in every direction, go back, take some notes real quick, and watch the changes happen. Aubrey. You know, you kind of remind me of this 5-year-old that I used to babysit. And whoever left the third leg, thank you, by the way. Now, I mentioned earlier about Lenormand readings, and I know that this is a new thing for a lot of you because, hey, a lot of readers actually don't pick up Lenormand or let you know that these are actually a completely different deck than Tarot and Oracle. Well, I appreciate that, Aubrey. I'm glad that, you know, you can rise above your paranoia that everyone's trying to attack you. And your odd idea that anyone that has never seen your actual face would just obviously have to be a lesbian just to call you sweetie. That says a lot more about you. But back to explaining Lenormand, because we're only going to be here for another 9. I don't blame you, because honestly, my nieces and nephews have a love-hate relationship with me. But because we only have 8 minutes, we're going to look into the next 3 days. And I definitely want you guys to take notes on this one and tell me how right or wrong I was. Because honestly, it gives me a little bit of a giddy feel every time. And I love constructive criticism. Note the words constructive criticism. There is a difference. But for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we're going to look at what event is going to be a main factor in your next 3 days and what you need to learn from it. All right. Not to be that guy, but we are so narrowing that down. So what's the lesson for Thursday that we're supposed to be catching from that? Thank you. You should always thank your spirit guides for lending a hand. Just saying, because, whew, I don't know about yours, but mine get cheeky. And Friday. And last but not least, Saturday. All right. So, my darlings, I want you to keep in mind with something. With Lenormand, whereas if you've seen my previous videos, you'll see that I always read in upright, reverse, and sideways. My Lenormand, I intentionally keep all of them upright, all right? Every single one of these cards is upright. So when you see that one of these is actually in reverse, that's because it came out that way, and I do not argue with my spirit guides on how shit's supposed to come out by any measure. We just say okie dokie and roll with it. So as far as tomorrow, the main event is actually going to be with a, now keep in mind, I am going off of the energy of this person. So while you're going to hear me say an older man, that could be a biologically older man or someone with an older man's energy. And if you've ever really decided to take a look at how people act and feel, you'll know what I mean. Like, a lot of times you've probably seen younger kids that seem way beyond their years older, or you've probably seen a very maternal figure in, ironically, a male teacher. In this case, remember, we're looking at older male energy along the lines of a fatherly type, or even just an older male mentor. And the thing that this guy's going to teach you is actually freaking fabulous, because we have the bridges and the child. What this is telling me is that tomorrow, this older man or older man energy is going to help you start crossing over obstacles with the intelligent, amazing imagination of a child. Children have the best imaginations, and as we get older, we start to lose our ability to use that capacity of imagination. This guy is going to help you find that way out of the box, but in the most fun, imaginative way possible. If I were you guys, I would be ecstatic, because I know I sure as shit am. Friday, I'm even more excited for you guys, because it looks like there's going to be a bit of a networking opportunity or some sort of gathering that is really going to have a huge impact on unlocking your real success, your real potential in an area that you just have been banging your head against a wall, whether it's finding a job that you actually enjoy or finding time just to relax. Because let's face it, we live in a world where it's hustle, 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 move, move, move. Do not stop energy, right? So I have no idea what this gathering is really looking like for you, but keep an eye and an ear out for that key, that moment that everything clicks and makes it so that good things are starting to happen, even during the retrograde. Now, you remember what I said about how with Lenormand, I always read them all upright, hell or high water. This is why, all right? Saturday, there's going to be an ending of suffering. If it was upright like this, I would tell y'all to buckle up and be ready to bite the pillow, because it was going to hurt. But because it came in reverse, this reverse here is telling me that there's going to be an end of suffering, an end of that strife that you've been unfortunately dealing with a little too long. And I'm going to tell you exactly what that strife is. We have the snake and the fox. So there's going to be an end to the strife of feeling like you're always being tricked, always being lied to, always feeling like there's always dishonesty and junk no matter where you go and what you do. I don't know what's going to happen that's going to cause you to see that these things are no longer an issue for you, but of all the things here, these are the best, all right? The fact that these are going to be going into the trash where they belong, and you can finally breathe a sigh of relief knowing that there's only honesty and goodness around you. So hopefully y'all took some notes and don't mind letting me know later on just how accurate or way off it was. And since we are on top of the 6:30 mark, it is time for my darling friends for our meditation card and for me to say goodnight. Because while Aubrey was a bit of a chatterbox, that doesn't count as me staying busy, because this is supposed to be a live tarot and oracle reading. So as far as what kind of energy we either need to embody or unblock in ourselves so that we can be our best for ourselves, because at the end of the day, that whole cliche about how you can't pour from an empty cup, I cannot tell you how true that is, because I've tried. And guess what? It didn't go good. No, it actually went really, really, really bad. And if you guys ever want an interesting story on that one, and I'll grant it's embarrassing beyond all reason, but funny. Definitely feel free to comment embarrassing burnout story, and I will gladly make a video about it. Ooh, we're embodying an energy. So as far as when you are doing your meditation tonight, trying to unwind, forget that the day just went forever and would not seem to stop. The energy that we're embodying is, I just got 100 times more excited now, but we're looking at Lady Pele. And if you're not sure on who Pele is, she is a Hawaiian goddess of volcanoes. Definitely worth the research on if you ever get a hankering to do so. But her message is, be honest with yourself. What is your heart's true desire? So tonight, I want you to just, and this actually goes great with our retrograde in Cancer, where we're looking at our emotions and how we need to really dive deeper in ourselves. But I want you guys to think tonight, what do you really want out of this life? we are stuck on this plane of existence for some odd amount of time, good, bad, or indifferent. So we might as well try and find ways to enjoy it and actually find ways that make us feel fulfilled. So while you are trying to unload and unwind from today, ask yourself, what do you really want out of this life? Because God forbid this happens to any of you, but you could be hit by a bus tomorrow. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather say, that was a hell of a ride. When do I get to do it again? Not, there are so many things I wish I would have done before I kicked it, son of a bitch. Make sure that this becomes fulfilled before that bus decides to punch your ticket. What do you really desire out of life? What do you want that you know would make everything amazing? And Evie, you caught me just in time to sign off, but I do come back next Wednesday, same time, same place. Everyone else, have a great night, and I'll see all of you again soon.